Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Friday to everyone. Tonight, we are going to have a different kind of a story, but I do want to say welcome in to Story Time with Miss Fox, and I'm happy to see you all. It's been a very long week. Tonight's story is Abuela. And yes, from the title, that tells you that this has something to do with Spanish. So in this story, there are going to be some Spanish words. At the end of the story, I will go over some of the words just to make sure that you understood, okay? Abuela takes me on the bus. We go all around the city. Abuela is my grandma. She is my mother's mother. Abuela means grandma in Spanish. Abuela speaks mostly Spanish because that's what people spoke where she grew up before she came to this country. Abuela and I are always going places. Today, we are going to the park. El parque es lindo, says Abuela. I know what she means. I think the park is beautiful too. Tantos pájaros, Abuela says, as a flock of birds surrounds us. So many birds, they are picking up the bread we brought. What if they picked me up and carried me away, high above the park? What if I could fly? Abuela would wonder where I was. Swooping like a bird, I would call to her. Then she'd see me flying. Rosalba, the bird. Rosalba, el parajo, she'd say. Ven, abuela. Come, abuela, I'd say. Si quiero volar, abuela would reply as she leaped into the sky with her skirt flapping in the wind. We would fly all over the city. Mira, abuela would say, pointing. As I'd look, we'd soar over parks, streets, dogs, and people. Do you see them? Right here. And that's the city. They're flying over the city. We'd wave to the people waiting for the bus. Buenos dias, we'd say. Buenos dias. Good morning, they'd call up to us. We'd fly over factories and trains. And glide close to the sea. Cerca del mar, we'd say. We'd almost touch the top of the waves. Abuela's skirt would be a sail. She could race with the sailboats. I bet she'd win. We'd fly to where the ships are docked and watch people unload fruits from the land where Abuela grew up. Mangoes, papayas, bananas. Those are all Spanish words. So are rodeo, pateo, and burro. Maybe we'd see a cousin of Abuela's hooking boxes of fruit to a crane. We saw her cousin Daniel once unloading and loading the ships. Out past the boats in the harbor, we'd see the Statue of Liberty. Me gusta, Abuela would say. Abuela really likes her. I do too. We would circle around Liberty's head and wave to the people visiting her. That would remind Abuela of when she first came to this country. Vamos al aeropuerto, she'd say. She'd take me to the airport where the plane that first brought her landed. Cuidado, Abuela would tell me. We'd have to be careful as we went for a short ride. You see them on the plane? Then we could fly to Tio Pablo's and Tia Elsa's store. Pablo is my uncle, my tío, and Elsa is my aunt, mi tía. They'd be surprised when we flew in, but they'd offer us a cool limonada. Flying is hot work, pero quiero volar más, Abuela would say. She wants to fly more. I want to fly more too. See, that's her tía and tío. You see Abuela? They're at the store. We could fly to las nubes, the clouds. One looks like a cat, un gato. One looks like a bear, un oso. One looks like a chair, una silla. Descansamos un momento, Abuela would say. She wants to rest a moment. We would rest in our chair, and Abuela would hold me in her arms and the whole sky, our house, nuestra casa. See? We'd be as high as airplanes, balloons, and birds, and higher than the tall buildings downtown. But we'd fly there too to look around. They do look like they're having fun. We could find the building where my father works. Hola, papa, I'd say as I'd wave, and Abuela would do a flip for fun as we passed by the windows. Do you see where they are? They're in the city. And there they go, right there. A lot of people live in the city. Mira, I hear Abuela say. Look, she's telling me. I do look, and we are back at the park. We are walking by the lake. Abuela probably wants to go for a boat ride. Vamos a otra aventura, she says. She wants us to go for another adventure. That's just one of the things I love about Abuela. She likes adventures. You see? Abuela takes my hand. Vamos, she says. Let's go. That was our story tonight, Abuela. Abuela is a story, as you could tell, about a granddaughter and her grandmother. And her imagination takes her on these adventures that they experience when they spend time together. And they seem like they're very close and that they do a lot of things together. Do you remember what abuela means? If you do, give me a thumbs up. Very good. I see you. And what about buenos dias? What does that mean? Yes, it means good morning, right? Give me a thumbs up. Great. And do you remember what tia means? If you do, give me a thumbs up. And what about tío? What does tío mean? Yes, it means uncle. Give me 1 second, fellas.